Hey, I'll be right with you. I have a little bit of a technical thing. All right, thanks. Sorry about that. There was I was hosting someone, and my screen didn't switch. My secondary screen didn't switch so that I couldn't see the chat from the person I was hosting. And so I had to switch that briefly. And now it's fixed, and it's time once again for the Real People Multi-Game Solitaire Mega Tournament, where we are playing Origins, How We Became Human. Last time we got into Era 2. A couple of them dead anyway. Looks like Kaz and Cat and Cowboy. And now we're just going to go through and see what's going on. Let's see. Sid is still enslaved by Watermelon, which you can see down here. And that's shown by, I don't know if you can tell, the one cube is stacked atop the other. That means they're over them. The other one is enslaved. And probably be wise for me to look at this before I start streaming so I can kind of have a better synopsis of what happened. It's been 2 days. But I didn't, because I kind of just have to jump in or I don't do anything. Alright, so Sid still trying to probably get this card, right? And that's going to be really hard for her right now, because if you look at Kaz and Cat has so many elders, and so it might not be worth Sid worrying about it, but I think she'll still just try and take a card. And yeah, I don't know, she's kind of just stuck. She might be like looking for some sort of advance, technological advance, or she could just go into Era 2. That's another way she could do it. Let's take a look at what Sid's all about. And you can see that? Kind of see that? Yeah. Let's change this light a little bit. No. That's better. That's not better. That's better? Okay. I'll just read it to you. Travel agent. To marry Mel Gibson, she can flip her tongue upside down. Driving in traffic, she'd like to meet Tom Cruise. Personal motto of Sid is to shut up. Most proud of her waist. Someone who liked to skip classes is her reputation in high school. 3 words that describe Sid are sweet, smart, and cute. So shut up, that's kind of an interesting motto for a slave to have. To just be quiet, keep your head down. Maybe. Oftentimes at school she wasn't there. I'm seeing Sid in a new way. Alright, well, I mean, it's a bit of a risk to go into Era 2 right now. I think she's just going to draw a card. Alright. Yeah, maybe I need to turn on this other light. That's a little better, maybe? I'll turn this one over here too. Oh, that's the one. I was using it to light up my other table. I've been trying out Castles of Burgundy. So that game, it's actually a really fun game, or enjoyable anyway, but there's nothing behind it. With these more abstract games, the thing behind it is usually, like, if I can grab some sort of like abstract concept that it's kind of going with. There's no way I can really like sum it up though in those terms. So, but it would be nice if the game was what it was, but it actually was about something else too, so that there were these like layers of meaning. That's kind of what I want in a game. But I'm still gonna try it out with some people sometime, just because it was gifted to me, and so I would like to play it. All right, and a friend of mine. It's probably her favorite game, I think. Okay, so she could just do a fecundity decrease with this card. I think she's still going to hold on to this just in case there comes a time when the elders are right. Alright, so we'll do a fecundity decrease. Can't do population actions anyway. let's move on to Watermelon. Watermelon's stuck in the southern Horn of Africa, thanks to Smudge. So she's got a means of resetting her elder. She could just try to domesticate the black rhino. She would have to roll a 5 or a 6 to be successful with that. Let's see. I mean, there's no way she's getting out of there anytime soon, unless the climate changes, and who can say when that'll be. So I think she's just going to try to do it. So she'll do a domestication action. That's a 1. Nothing happens except her elder gets expended. She'll go ahead and meld this card here to bring it back up. So it'll be ready for next turn. Population actions. I guess... no, nothing really she could do. Well, she could move here, and then next turn she could get another population here. I guess she could do that. She has rafts. Alright, let's go on to Smudge. You don't have to roll at the start of your turn. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, Smudge. Did he go to Chaos last time? It kind of looks like it. No, I don't think he did. I think he got lucky. He's been just trying to get his fecundity in order. So he's trying to drop the cubes down from his innovation track down to his population track. So let's see how he can do that. I guess he can just take a card, right? And what do we have? We have clay and cane baskets he could take for a fecundity decrease, or he could have marrow scavenging, hand axe marrow scavenging. I think that's more smudgy, so he'll take that one. Pecking order. I think that rings true to Smudge's heart in maybe a sad way for him. Smudge gets kind of down on himself, but he's been very aggressive this game. Okay, roll for chaos. There is no chaos. 6 is the number. Got to be conscious of what the camera sees. And population-wise, so he's by the Arak cow here. I think he might just stay there. I mean, he could go up by the elephant. He's already by the elephant, but then he's by the yak. Yeah. Okay. All right. Over to Cat, as in Cat. Kaz and Cat did some impressive things. So she's in Era 2. She got the energy advancement she needs. And she's got 2 Metropolis now. So, and Smudge kind of cleared everything out for her. So she can kind of just expand and do stuff. But she doesn't want to go into Chaos in the meantime. So her footprint is definitely high enough to go into a golden age, so she'll go ahead and do that. So it's actually not so bad if she goes into chaos. I don't think she's going to worry about it. But she could get some map dominance in the meantime. Maybe go over by that horse. That's one action, though. She has another action. I guess she'll draw. Okay, we have tuberculosis. This is a disease. I got to remind myself what that does. And then I think she'll just auction this card and take it, because that's pretty good. Alright, tuberculosis. Got a bound of 3, that's not going to matter. The highest immunology we have right now is 1. Okay, disease. This icon indicates a drawing player and 1 neighbor of her choice, if she has any. I'm changing the gender pronouns. Are stricken by a disease, as indicated by the red advancement arrow. A stricken player advances 1 on the immunology track. That's a neat thing about this game. When you get sick, your medical technology improves and suffers 1 elder loss. And 2 fecundity increases. If a player cannot advance her immunology because it is at the bound limit, then she is immune to the disease and suffers no effects. Okay, so where are neighbors? Is that on the front? Any other player with map units in the same hex or in an adjacent hex to the player's units. Okay, so that's going to be Smudge. So what happens to both of them? They both go up 1 on this immunology track. Over here. First Kaz and Cat, then Smudge. And then they both suffer an elder loss. Smudge doesn't have any. She does. Gets 2 fecundity increases. That might put her into chaos right there. That's rough on Smudge. That kind of undid Smudge's last 2 turns because he spent his 2 turns doing fecundity decreases, then he got fecundity increases. Alright, we're good on that. Now she'll go ahead and auction this card off. C is the highest. I think Giraffe would bid on that. But she's just going to bid 2, outbid her. Take the card. So here's a situation that is actually good for Sid because both of her elders are expended. Now if we look at Sid's card, I know it's not Sid's turn. Giraffe's still ahead of her on that. She's the C. So Sid still has to. She basically needs them both to be expended at the same time to get the card she wants. But still a nice card for Kaz and Cat. That's worth 2 points. Now we have to roll to see if she goes into chaos. This is kind of a win-win for her. It's good either way. Alright, she doesn't go into chaos. Now she has 3 population actions. Yeah, no, I kind of remember there being, it's kind of good to leave the bicameral age whenever you can. That's what I remember. I'm going to go with that. Part of me wonders if maybe you want to like linger a little bit to get your technology up just with the lower cards, but I think the Era 3, well, because some of the Era 3 cards I think have prerequisites that I think you can draw from a lesser age though. Okay, so population actions. I think Cat will take this advantage and just keep going. She'll go 1. Actually, let's stop and look at these tracks. Especially this. Okay, so she doesn't have what she needs to do any of this except for, nope, she doesn't even have that. Probably nothing happening there. I'm just trying to see what she might want to be near. The horse might not be bad. I think gold is generally good. Let's go ahead and pop out a cube and have it go over to the gold. And I don't know how much she wants to put. Well, I guess she could just go for it. Put out 2 more cubes. She has the seamanship to do this. Oh, she could totally enslave Smudge, couldn't she? Yeah, why not do that? Okay, she messes up her fecundity or her immunization track a little bit, but now Smudge is enslaved by her. No, she doesn't want to do that because actually what that would do is that would give him all of her footprint advances, and she doesn't want to do that. Okay, she's not going to enslave Smudge. Though Smudge, maybe she wants to stay away from Smudge though, because if Smudge attacks her, then the same thing would happen. She would be enslaved by Smudge, which, well, no, she wouldn't because he has a piece in the New World. So she has to be wary of Smudge, actually. She'll go down here, Africa. And then, oh, someone's talking to me. Hi, Ziltang. For some reason it's not showing up on this thing. I'm gonna refresh this thing. So normally it shows me on the thing I'm looking at, and I only have to look at the other one in certain cases. Oh well. Let's see what Ziltang's saying. You said bicameral age. It's not a Julian James game, but it's one of the influences is the origins of consciousness and the breakdown of the bicameral mind. Is that the name of the book? That was one of the. This book or this game actually has a lot of footnotes, and that's one of the footnotes is about the game and talks a lot about it. Yeah, so the bicameral age is actually a hearty chunk of the game here. Where's my camera? There's my camera. So there's 3 eras in the base game. The first one's the Age of Instinct, which is like you're a proto-human. Second one is the Bicameral Age, and then it's the Age of Faith. And then you can get an expansion, have the Age of Reason, which I do have. And I have that book too. I found it in a bookstore in Yelm. Alright, so that'll be Kaz and Kat. I don't know why it's not showing up on... Your chats aren't showing up on my little box here. See the little black box in the upper left-hand corner of the screen? It's supposed to show up there too. I think there's a way to fix that. Let me see. Refresh cache. Would that do it? Maybe that'll do it. Situation for me is it's Friday and I'm very tired, but I want... Oh, there it goes. Yes, that worked. You just have to talk more and then it'll show up. How's your night going? You're Diane, right? Am I remembering your name right? I think you're Diane. You sound like Diane. Yeah, you just have to talk enough. Usually it's like you just have to talk at all and it'll show up. Yes, okay, good. I remembered. Yeah, so what are you doing tonight? Are you wandering around in some woods taking pictures of trees? Or are you at a puzzle situation somewhere? Like, are you somewhere where people are asking you puzzles? Or are you in a maze? Or are you at home doing puzzles? Or I wandered around in some woods earlier today. It was pretty rainy. What's the temperature? We've been having warm weather, but we had a little bit of rain today too, but it was very little, which is unusual for this area. That's nice to be able to spend time online. That's probably what I would be doing. Well, I am spending time online, but I'd be like more passively spending time online. What I'd be doing if I wasn't doing this. Or else I'd be playing a game solitaire. But I'm trying to kind of just make myself do this even if I'm tired, if I have the opportunity. Because this Real People Multi-Game Solitaire Mega Tournament thing has been just going on for a long time. And it's never going to get done if I don't finish it. So I should finish it, right? Let's go on to Cowboy. Cowboy is actually also doing very well too. He's the only one with the metallurgy advance, so he's in the Copper Age in terms of metallurgy. And let me know if you have any questions about the game, Diane. I can always try to answer. So basically that means he has, if his cubes encounter another color cube, he has the advantage as long as he has more of that. So he could also try to go into chaos. So how this game works is when you have this track here, and this is kind of like how you progress through time. But Phil Eklund, the designer of this game, his kind of hypothesis or theory is that a civilization doesn't just like go straight up. It has to go into chaos to move forward, kind of like the Dark Ages, like the classical period. Things were kind of better overall than the Dark Ages. So the Dark Ages were like the chaos that led to the Enlightenment, right? So that's kind of what's going on here. So if you're here and you go into chaos, you can actually pick to go back to like metaphoric language in this case, or you can go to Era 3 Doubt. Typically you would go forward, but you can also just go back. So that's what we're looking at there. So we have two people who just got to Era 2. They got into their golden age, so they need to go into chaos to move forward in terms of progression in the game. But they maybe don't want to go forward so fast. All right. So Cowboy has 2 actions. He can draw cards. Probably what he wants to do. It's going to be harder for him to go into chaos because he's stuck in Australia here. He can't leave right now. And you need to be able to get cubes on the table, and his footprint isn't super high, so you can only have 2 cubes in the same hex. And So yeah, I think he'll draw cards. The first one is irrigation canals. That lets him, that'll be useful for him if he can, let's see. Well, no, it won't be that useful, but it can help him get a city. Yeah, because sugarcane, the only thing it does for him is it bumps up his footprint. The other side, he can get a fecundity decrease. Yeah, not a super exciting card for him, but he'll draw again because he hits 2 actions. Now this one's nice. I think he'll play this one right now. This one lets him try to domesticate. And he can try to domesticate the short-faced kangaroo. Ooh. Too bad he's not here with the Diprotodon wombat, because that would give him a better chance of getting the metallurgy advance. But he's going to go with where he's at. Cowboy doesn't waste his time. He'll deplete that, roll a die. You got a 5. So he did successfully domesticate it, but it's not a cavalry animal, so he can't ride the kangaroo, so it doesn't help his military might. But he did make another city, so that's all right. And I guess he'll, again, since Cowboy doesn't want to waste his time, he'll just play that one to replenish that elder down there. Population actions, I think he will start to put people out. Put someone here at this hobbit, and someone here at this wombat. Now he's got a chance of going into chaos. So if he, next turn, if he rolls under that number, he'll go into chaos, which is what we're wanting. All right, back over to Sid, our quiet slave. Sid really has nothing she can do other than draw a card. Ooh, so she found the Arrow 1 Metallurgy Advance card. She can play it and go into Era 2. I think she might do that, hoping that her Overlord Watermelon will give her the energy advance she needs to go into the Golden Age in Era 2. If you go into Era 2 too quick, you don't go into the Golden Age because you need the energy advance. Alright, so we'll do that. She goes up to that's tough. She kind of has to do it though. Encephalize her Wernix area, and she is going to be in metaphoric language. So that's good that she got that metallurgy advance, because her species of human or whatever needs to have metallurgy as well as energy in order to go up. Alright, sorry, I feel a little slow. I feel very sluggish today. But that's alright. I'm okay with that. Okay with that. No population actions for Sid. Over to Watermelon. Watermelon is going to... I don't know. Draw a card, maybe? Does that sound good? Sound like a good idea. Oh no, she wants to take this Metallurgy card. Oh, actually, I think Watermelon gets the Metallurgy advance with her. Yeah, because of the slave-master relationship. When one advances, so does the other. They're symbiotic. Alright, she wants to... Yeah, she needs to domesticate something. I don't think she's going to try to do that right now. I think she's just going to get a card in her hand for later. She wants a Elder Reset card. I think she'll take this one. And then for population action, get a cube out over here. Yeah, that works. Okay, over to Smudge. Smudge just got that disease, tuberculosis, which was really bad. But he is close to the New World. He just needs the Ice Age to end. Yeah. So his fecundity got messed up. I think he needs to just kind of keep plugging away at that. So, oh, but he wants the metallurgy, actually. He's going to take the metallurgy here. Free up his neocortex. And then roll for chaos. 5. No chaos for Smudge. He has been very lucky with that. Over to Kaz and Cat. Kaz and Cat is very close to chaos now. Her elders are expended. Her footprint's where she needs it to be. She just doesn't have the energy to go into her next golden age here. So I think she will use her turn to draw a card. Okay, administration. This is an administration card. That's not that useful to her. Would give her trade ability early, but she would lose an elder. Not sure she wants to put this up for grabs because it would just keep her from going into chaos. She'll just hold on to that for now. Roll to see if she goes into chaos, and she does. So she's become racist. I don't know if you see here. Each of these has a little word that has to do with the particular type of representation of human they're doing. This one says racism. You can't see it. A little too dark, but that's where she is. If she goes into a golden age, she goes into matrimony. So she went from metaphoric language to kinship to racism. Matrimony's next. Hopefully she can get to divorce, because that's like a step up for matrimony. And then ecology after that. And then if she goes on into chaos from there, the game ends. King Mern. Hello. Yeah, racism turns into matrimony. Matrimony is the golden age of racism in this game. Or racism is the dark age of the age, or the dark side of the age of faith, and matrimony is the golden age of the age of faith. So yeah, so she went into chaos. Let's go ahead and go through with that. If you're just joining me, I'm very slow tonight. Probably going to take a little break here soon just to kind of wake up a little bit. If that'll work, I don't know. Here, you could look at the rule book with me. And this is like basic stuff. Going into chaos, I should know that. I think like her turn ends and half of her pieces leave. In fact, I know that's what happens. So let's just do that. She'll keep her cities for sure. I think she will. So she'll just get rid of 3 cubes. She'll get rid of this one and these 3. Bump, bump, bump. It'd be nice if she had if the card she drew had a fecundity decrease. That's one reason she maybe didn't want to go into chaos right now, because she would want to have the cards necessary to like recover from it. Otherwise, she'll just keep going into perpetual chaos, chaos after chaos, chaos after chaos, until she stops going into chaos. Yeah, they are. Have you played this game? This is not the. I do have the printout of one version of the living rules. I don't know if it's the most recent one, but I'm not going to keep printing out copies of the rules. But from several years ago, I think they're remaking this game too. By they, I mean the designer. I think it's one person. But yeah, I still like. I like a book. I don't know. So I have these. These are the living rules. This is just less satisfying to me. Going through here. Maybe if I stapled it like a book, it would feel better. But I don't know. Over to Cowboy. Cowboy would also like to go into chaos. But I think he's going to just draw a card, because you can't just go into chaos. Okay, this is a good one to keep for chaos because it's got a double fecundity decrease. So after chaos, you can just play this. It also allows you to do some resource extraction, which is good, but he's not in the right place for it. I guess he could get tin. Tin has a resource plus. I think that just gives you an elder or something. It's not one of the exciting ones that gives you an energy boost, right? So he'll hold that card. Draw another one. Another double fecundity decrease, but his hand limit is still only 1, so he can get an elder though. So he'll take that and he will try to domesticate banana sugarcane. Yeah. And this is a Temple Administrator. Daubed Granaries is the card. Get that, expend it. Get that, expend it. Sure. To try to domesticate banana sugarcane. 3, that's going to do it because it has a double minus, which puts it into the 1-2 zone here. And he's got another Metropolis, which is great, which gives him more Elder capability. Alright, I'm going to take a quickish break, probably about 5 minutes. Come back. And if you're here, I'll see you then. Or I won't see you, but you'll see me then. And I might read from you then. If you're not here, then I might see you another time, or you might see me another time. Alright, we're back. I think that was less than 5 minutes. Wasn't too bad, but I feel rejuvenated. I feel ready to go. Alright, back to Sid, our slave. Sid is... she's just in a tough position, Sid. Tough position. But she can go into a golden age, so she will do that. And that'll be it. Alright, over to Watermelon, her enslaver. Watermelon, still trying to domesticate something. I guess she will try that now. She'll try for the Black Rhino. She needs a 5 or a 6. 4. Failure. Too ferocious. If we were playing with less than 5 players, the Black Rhino would be extinct. Then she is going to play this card to just restore her Elder. Over to Smudge. Smudge, working on his fecundity still. Take the pecking order. Roll to see if he goes into Chaos. 1, he does. So he has to lose something. I think he's going to stay in the New World. And just hope for the Ice Age to end over there. So he's just over here, which really leaves all of Asia and North Africa to Kaz and Kat in terms of space. Things are looking really good for her just because of how the interactions play out. That's what I like about multiplayer games, because it's not usually, I mean, it's not necessarily the best player who wins, though they can, but it's just like how the the interplay of players works, and maybe the best player in that case is the one who can like work with that interplay. It's not like chess or Go, where it's really just like a direct match of wits, because there's always going to be things outside your control in this game, especially because there's a lot of like chaos involved. Okay, so Kaz and Kat's goal right now is to get to matrimony. She wants to get out of the Dark Age, which I think also rejuvenates her elders, maybe going into a Golden Age. I think so. I could just look at the rule book, at this obsolete rule book. No, I should look at the obsolete action list. Shift your unit and choose one public. Oh, okay, yeah, it doesn't do that. Oh, yeah, that's right. When you go into chaos, your cards go upside down. That's right. Okay, so going into a Golden Age brings your card back up, so you can use it. So her culture card that she has down here is covered. She can't use her cultural superiority because she's too racist. Over now to Ka. Ka needs to. She needs this double fecundity decrease card. So it's Halef Tholoi. I don't know what that is, but it has to do with Daub granaries and female figurines. That's gonna. Yeah, this is what it did. Double fecundity decrease. And 1 or 2, she goes into chaos again. 5, she's good. That's nice for her. I think that will be it for that. I don't know that she doesn't want to go into chaos again, so she's not going to do any population actions, though. Let's revisit what her options would be. Let's use the updated printout here. Okay, Sabine Raid, that's not applicable. Urbanization, that is. But it requires 3 actions. She does have 3 actions, so she could just make a metropolis right here at this Wyzant. That doesn't seem bad. That doesn't seem bad. Okay, we'll do that. Over to Cowboy. He's got those two innovation actions. I think he'll draw. Okay, Anthrax. Cowboy is not immune, so he's going to have to take that, but not yet. We're going to resolve the... Anthrax. No one else will share it with him. And he likes this card. He would like to take it, so he'll probably auction this off and take the bid. He actually wins ties, so he'll only have to bid 1. He'll draw again. That gives him a fecundity, or it gives him a fecundity decrease, barbarian raid, or he can do elder gain plus a. God, I keep looking at it, thinking my eyes are the camera, or domesticate this animal with a -1, which this is a great card for him. So he's got 2 good things here. He'll go ahead and take the Anthrax first. Does he lose his elders though from the Anthrax? I think he does. Didn't we just establish that 20 minutes ago or so? Looking at the obsolete rules. Oh yeah, I'm being a tease. I'm only showing you part of the obsolete rules. This icon is 1 elder loss. That's going to be okay because he's going to gain an elder. Oh, I expended it by doing this. And 2 fecundity increases. Okay, this is a lot's happening this turn for Cowboy. Let's look at Cowboy. There we go. Alright. So he's got all these cards. He's going to go ahead and auction this off. Take it. And then he's going to meld this card. Give himself a new elder. Yeah, he has two metropoli, and then tried to domesticate the Diprotodon wombat. Diprotodon. Yeah, there we go. 3 minus 1 is 2. It's too ferocious. He can't domesticate it right now. Oh no, it's minus 2. He does, because there's a minus on the card and a minus on the wombat. So he's domesticated the wombat. It's now a cavalry animal. So you have to imagine Cowboy riding the wombat in the battle, this large wombat. That's going to give him a metallurgy of 2 now. So now he can move over jungle spots at double cost. So he can come out of here. It'll take him a couple turns because it takes him longer to go through the jungle, but he can do it. Now let's see if he goes into chaos first. 3, he does not. So now let's go out into the let's leave Australia. I guess this is the best place to start. You see where I started there? We're going to be going north, so I'll move that up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now he has to move through it though, so he has to just stay here right now. So next turn he can leave. No, actually he can do it right now because he's actually trying to go into chaos anyway. 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Does he just keep going? I think he does. It's advantageous to be right outside someone's spot. The only problem with him being there is she could starve him out because her footprint's higher. So he's technically in siege with her right now. So now I gotta look at sieges. Because he's outside her metropolis. This is a rule that's been changed in the game. Why do the cards all have anagrams of Panch? Each of the letters has... You're talking about the, these cards? Each of the letters refers to one of the demography cards. So, if there's a tie in the bidding, you go from top to bottom to decide who wins the tie. So that's why when Cowboy did this one, he only had to bid 1 because he's got the P demography, and no one else could bid higher than 1. Even though he had 2 elders at the time that he could have bid, he only had to do 1 because he was at the top. I hope that was a good answer. Yeah, so we're looking at sieges. So one of the things you can do now is if you just sit outside someone's metropolis, and that's not in the rules, but it's been added by the designer. You can use population actions to just take from that person's discard pile, because you're kind of borrowing from their culture. You're technically in a siege situation, even if you're not doing anything or if you're not winning the siege. So I have to find sieges in here and see if because I don't know, he could succeed in sieging. But I think the siege rating, it's coming back to me. Siege rating is their footprint versus your metallurgy, something like that. Something close to that. So he's not going to win. All right, let's go through with Sid again. Sid, who can't go into chaos, sadly, even though she's at City State. So Sid's card, we looked at Kaz and Kat's card here, her Era 2 card. So what she's got going on is she goes from, they all start at metaphoric language once they're in Era 2, then they go to something else, okay, that's unique to their demography. She goes to city-state, then slavery, which is interesting because she is a slave, and then from slavery to nationhood, nationhood to civil wars to patriotism. That's her kind of final golden age. So she's at a city-state right now, in Era 2, but can't do much because she's still a slave. She needs something to happen. But maybe she can get a barbarian raid card, because that can get her out of slavery. In fact, no, instead of taking that, there's an Era 2 card right here. Alright. So, we got to see how this barbarian raid can get her out of slavery. You have to forgive me. In the past, before I did this game, if I would do this game, I would like kind of refresh myself a little better on it, play it by myself. But time is just so scarce. I'm using all my available time to do this. The play of a card with a barbarian to make a barbarian attack upon one of his neighbors, causing the victim to forfeit one public card or lose one elder of her choice. Cards used to make a barbarian raid and are taken out of the game completely. Barbarian raids may also have the effect of ending enslavement. See page 15. This might work in a couple ways for Sid, because then she can, if once Watermelon loses her elder, she can then take that information card she's been saving. Page 15. Slave Revolt Genocide. The map units of enslaved and slaver societies may never attack or besiege each other. However, if either the slaver or enslaved player makes a barbarian raid upon the other, or if the slaver society goes into chaos or is herself enslaved, then instantly the enslavement comes to an end, dissolving all slavery rules and putting all the enslaved units into siege against the metropolises of the former slaver society. All guest workers of the blah blah blah. If the slaver society loses any units due to chaos, these are replaced by... Yeah, so the problem is that Sid has no units on the map, so that she can't really... I mean, she could end the enslavement, but then she would just become enslaved by someone else because she has no units on the map. She's still going to do this barbarian raid, though, just to... and this card leaves the game, unfortunately. She's doing that just to get rid of Watermelon's elder, so that she can then take this card, and no one can bid against her because no one else has any producer elders. So she finally got that point, which is nice. She's been holding on for a long time to do that. Alright, over to... no population actions for her. Over to Watermelon. Watermelon's still just trying to get that nice energy boost from domesticating the black rhino. Does she have another option to her? No, I don't think so. So she's going to roll a d... Oh no, she doesn't have an elder. She needs to get an elder. So she'll take this elder here. It's a napper. Hand axe marrow scavenging napper. Get her elder back. And I don't think any population actions for her. Again, she's stuck behind this jungle wall here. She doesn't have the metallurgy that Cowboy has that lets her hack through the jungle vines and whatnot. Our music stops, so that tells me that we're on our last turn. We're going to go through music lists with Smudge, Kaz, and Cat, and Cowboy, and then we'll call it for the night. Smudge just went into chaos, stuck in the new world. He does not want to go into chaos again, so he just needs to take a card. He will take the Cuckoldry card and go and play that. He's good. He has one population action. He's just going to wait for the thaw in the new world here so that he can come down. That's a Smudge thing. Over to Kaz and Cat. Okay, she's our only person in Era 3. She would love a double fecundity decrease, but I think she'll take a single just because she doesn't want to take a blind draw from the deck here and have it be nothing useful. She only gets one action, and she doesn't want to go into chaos again. So she will grab the pecking order. All that. She still has to roll for chaos, but she only gets it on a 1. 6. She's okay. Okay, she has 2 population actions. I don't think she has anything compelling she wants to do. I think she's just going to sit in her cities. Yeah, nothing there. Okay, over to the Cowboy. He has 2 innovation actions. I guess he will draw twice. We'll draw once, see what it is. We have Adobe Brick Village. He could use that to domesticate a plant, but there's no plants nearby. He can also use it to decrease his fecundity. He's not going to... Well, he might save the card, actually, because his information is pretty good right now. Let's see what his next card is. Okay, we have a Ziggurat. Now, this is fun because it's going to cause the climate to change, which could be good for Flush. Or not Flush, Smudge. Sorry. It's that U sound in the middle. I confuse my real people, even though Flush isn't in this game. All right. So we got a 1. That changes the desert into, or the, savanna into desert. So this piece dies because he can't live in a desert. Anyone else in a desert? Yeah, this piece here. I think that's all who's in a desert. I'm talking about the yellow spots in the map. Sorry, I wasn't showing you with the camera. Giraffe died here, and Cowboy lost a piece here. I say giraffe. Why did I say giraffe? I played a game of this where Giraffe had a metropolis, like a character named Giraffe had a metropolis on the giraffe space here, and that died. I'm going nuts. No, watermelon. Watermelon died there. Okay, which is actually a zebra space, not a giraffe space. But both of them died because the climate changed to desert. That's my point. Okay, so he has that. Now he has some cards to play. I don't think he's going to play this Ziggurat right. Well, he doesn't have to. I think he's going to just keep his cards and see if he goes into Chaos, because then he'll have them to come out of it next time on the Real People Multi-Game Solitaire Mega Tournament. Big roll here. End things off for Cowboy. He does not go into Chaos, so that's going to do it. We have Cowboy in Era 2. We have the Enslaved Sid in Era 2 right now. With 1 point to her name. Cowboy's got 5 points. He's doing really well. Kaz and Cat and Cowboy kind of have most of the world under their belt. Smudge is waiting for the Ice Age to end over in the New World. And Watermelon is still stuck down in Africa trying to domesticate a black rhino. And that's where we are. And that's where we'll be next time on the Real People Multi-Game Solitaire Mega Tournament when we play Origins, How We Became Human. That was a great conclusion, Joe. Good job. Thanks.